Okay, Uncle Don, we're ready for the next story.
Okay, when
You got your audio.
when I was married to Joyce, uh, me and her had separated, and I'd moved back home, dead mother, and I was sleeping in that front bedroom, and Elroy was going with Betty at that time, and he come in, climbed in the bed with me, and he had nightmares. Man, he had a bad nightmare, and he jumped up, come right down on top of me, and I fixed him off on the floor, and I woke him up, and I'll never forget that. Man, he done busted the sheetrock with his fist, and he come on to me. You know?
Wow.
And we had quite a laugh about that later.
Was that common for him to have nightmares like that?
Yeah, he had them, and he'd get up and walk in his sleep some,
Yeah.
that type of thing.
One night he was on top of the dresser, thought he was riding a horse and hollering and a whooping, and woke us all up and scared us to death.
And
After
he was
we
asleep.
got
He was
after we
asleep.
got married, well, we was out there on one weekend, and Grandpa and Grandma Rushing, they lived in the old house over there, front room of the old house. And Elroy and I went over there to see Granddaddy, and went in, and he was watching wrestling on television. And we made the big mistake telling him that was all fake. And he said, "Boys, don't tell me it's fake," said, "I'm watching this, I can see that blood." And I said, "Grandpa, I just busted them old red capsules on him." And he jumped up out of his chair, and me and Elroy headed for the door, him right in after us. And we left him in there. He got so mad, we were afraid to go back. We didn't go back in there that day. Grandpa had quite a temper. And that's about all I've got on Elroy. I've got some here on Margie. Margie had quite a temper, and I'd get teasing her about somebody that she didn't like, and we'd be in the field hoeing cotton, and she'd jump up after me, and I'd take off, and back then I could run just as fast as I needed to, I reckon, stay out of her way, for she was chopping at me with that hoe, and if I'd have stopped, she'd have hurt me. So she got her temper kind of cooled down, you know. So she'd get at me and Elroy down in the house between the bed and the wall, and she'd tickle us. We was both ticklish. And she'd tickle us in the ribs till we could just nearly pass out. Me and Gordon, her cousin. And she played with paper dolls, and she had a doll of her own that she played with. And she was pretty much of a tomboy too. She liked to play all outside games we played. And
She was younger than Elroy, or?
yeah, she was older than Elroy.
Oh.
Yeah. She was next to Elroy.
Did she ever catch you and hurt you?
Oh, she beat up on us, yeah. Terribly and the girl, you know, we was taught you don't hit girls. So we never would hit her, but she beat us over the head to anything she could get hold of. Then Ruby, the oldest, she had a girl next door down there to where Mr. Fielder and them lived. That Mr. George Faust lived down there then. And he had a girl about Ruby's age, and she'd come up there and they'd play in the yard. take cinnamon book catalog and cut out paper dolls, and they'd make mud pies and put them on the board, you know, and put the boards up on 2 sticks of wood. And they'd make them mud pies. And they said I was mean. I'd come by and nicker like a horse, kick it over. And they'd catch me and just wham, boy, they just beat me up good. And
I guess you are mean.
I'd tear the heads off of the paper dolls and that type of thing, you know. Just like a little boy do, you know. But Ruby had a doll. She had a doll, you can see it in this picture here of the old house. She had a baby doll. And Ruby was the mother of all of us. And she mothered all of us, taking care of us. Mother'd go to the field and she'd stay home and cook. And one time, her and Betty Scott, now, she married Jack Scott. Betty Thormartin, second or third cousin now. And they was laying across the bed in the middle room, and I'd come out of the field to get a jug of water, and I'd filled up my water jug, and I'd say, well, I'll go in the house and see what they're doing. Well, they were laying across this bed on their stomach, talking about their boyfriend. And Ruby said, well, I'll tell you one thing, I won't never wash Willie B. Scott's feet. And Betty said, no, and I won't wash Jack Scott's either. I said, is that so? And boy, here they come after me, you know, and I took off, went out the kitchen door and grabbed my water jug and took off, and they couldn't catch me. But I went to the field, told Mother about it.
Ruby, didn't Ruby used to hide her paper dolls up on the top log upstairs? Where you couldn't reach them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and push them off the log, get out between the motherboard and when they tore the old house down, there wasn't none to be found. I guess mice had done eat them up, you know. But
She said, I hope they find my paper dolls.
Marilyn,
Aw. Aw.
Marilyn played house a lot. She had a baby doll. She also done paper dolls. And I drank a lot of tea, you know. She had a tea set, and she had to have tea parties, you know, and I tend to drink a lot of tea. But we had a good time together.
So Margie was a tomboy, but Marilyn was a girl.
Yeah. Yeah. So we played outside games, done all kind of kicking the can, hide and seek.
Hulk
Huh?
with a corn, what was that? Hulk Hulk?
Hully Gully.
Hully Gully,
Hully
yeah,
Gully.
Hully Gully
Yeah.
was another game we played. Elroy had a famous game he liked to play, and that was that Hully Gully game too, I guess.
Something in the hole.
Yeah, yeah, bread and cheese in the hole and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And
Yeah. I'll think of it.
at myself, when I was growing up, with Elroy and Margie and Marilyn and Ruby, like I was telling you a while ago, I had a first cousin lived about a mile down the road, and we had a game we played. That game was riding any horse or mule that our parents traded for without a saddle on it. Put the bridle on him till one of us got on, then you pull the bridle off and let him go. And they had traded for an old mule and from Dallas Smith. And he told him, said, whatever you do, Herman said, don't let one of these boys on that mule. He's never been rode. And me and Gordon, we'd draw straws to see who's gonna ride him. it seemed like it always come my time to ride. And that day, I got up on that old mule and he humped up, you know. And Gordon said, "You ready?" And I said, "Yeah." Pull the bridle off. He pulled the bridle off, and that old mule, I kicked him in the side, and he took off a running and a bucking and a carrying on. And went down in a little old wood behind the barn and drug me off on a limb. Well, wham, I hit the ground. And I suppose that that's one thing's wrong with my back today, you know, from all that rough playing we did back then. That's
I believe.
one time I was,
How old were you when y'all were doing all that?
I was probably 12, 13 years old. On up till we was 16 or better. And when I was 9 years old, Dad bought me a team of mules and a 92 Chattanooga plow. And I made every round he made after that. We cleared a new ground with about an acre of ground in it. And had stumps. You cut stumps off up high back then, up about 3 to 4 foot high. Well, it come my time to plow around that stump, and the old mules straddle that stump, and they just kept getting down lower and lower and lower, trying to pop that double tree. I'd run around in front of them and slap them on the nose and everything. I knew the kid had a hold of them. They wouldn't stop. So they broke it. They broke it, and Dad, he said, "You ought to let them get straddled of it." He said, "You go to the house and make a double tree. You get yourself back down here." I went to the house. Me and Mother. I went to the house crying, of course. Me and Mother got out there and found an old 2x4, and we hewed it out where the clearances would go on and everything, drilled the holes in it, made a mistake and drilled all the holes on the same side. And when he put the mules to it, take off, it just busted right out. Well, Dad, that aggravated him. We picked up our cotton stalk, walked me 3 or 4 times with it, and said, "You go to the house and make one of the last." He didn't tell me what I'd done wrong.
Oh.
I knew, though. When it happened, what had happened. So, went back to the house, crying again, you know. Me and Mother got out there and found an old limb. A post, what do you call them? In other words, it's like iron. You couldn't break it. Well, we hewed that out, made a double tree out of it, drilled the holes in it, went back and put it back onto the plow and hooked the mules up to it.
So you
I
tell
spent
me,
the rest of my years farming with a team with that double tree. It never did break anymore.
so Granny worked the farm pretty hard too,
Oh yeah,
out there doing that kind of work with
Right.
Yeah, Mama did. Just
yeah,
she did.
yeah. We all had to work on the farm. Only one that didn't work on the farm was Janet, and I hadn't talked about Janet either. Janet and Elroy, they didn't do much.
I didn't do much either, Don. I worked in the garden with Mama.
Yeah. But
But my dad
when
made-
Janet
Dad
come
made
along,
money
it was
making money.
quite a surprise to all of us, you know, that I was already married and Carol and her was the same age. And so, don't know much about Janet as far as what she did growing up, for we was in our separate places, you know, but she was fought to death. She never got a whooping, I don't reckon. She did, I never did
I
know
didn't
it.
either.
And so that's about it. That's all we have.